with Earth2 Mastery. I'm back to answer one of the frequently asked questions, which is how big is a tile on Earth2 and how many of them are there? So first off, if you could just like my video and subscribe to the channel for more Earth2 content. We're going to make each other millionaires, I hope. And use my coupon code up here at the top to get 5% off your land purchases. And it's also down in the description, as well as a group on Facebook where we can discuss strategy and work together to make this a viable project, which is what we all want. Okay, so to start off with, how big is a tile? Well, it's 10 meters by 10 meters or 100 square meters. I've calculated that out to be 1,076 square feet for all my American friends. And a lot of us decide on property values based on acreage. So I found that an acre of land is 43,560 square feet. And since each tile is 1,076 square feet, there's roughly 40.5 tiles per acre. So that might help you if you're trying to figure out what the real life value is of the property that you're buying. Because a lot of times you can look and see, like in LA County, how much per acre land costs, or a lot in town is going to be like 7,000 square feet or something like that. You can figure out how much a lot is, and then you'll know how much it's worth. You can look at commercial properties, residential properties, depending on where you're buying in the game. I thought it might be interesting to know how many tiles there are on the Earth total. So I looked it up, and the Earth is 510 million square kilometers. That's 1,000 square meters per kilometer. So I multiplied that by 1,000 and I got 510 billion. But there's 10 tiles per square kilometer. So I divided it by 10 and figured out that there's 51 billion tiles on Earth. Now, that doesn't mean that I think all of those tiles will ever be worth anything. Much like our real Earth, there's going to be a lot of barren land. And that's what the developers have said too, is that they think that it's probably just going to be barren land where people don't own tiles. So you have to think, like out in the middle of the Mojave Desert, nobody's going to buy land out there most likely because it's just going to be barren land. You're going to find that most people are either buying properties circling around natural resources or around population, just like in real life, right? Like if there's gold in an area, people are going to buy it so that they can get the gold. But other than that, most of the people are going to live in cities and around urban and populated areas so that they get services. And I think in the game, it's going to be the same way, because that's where all the entertainment value is going to be, is where everybody owns land and is building it up. So if I were you, I just wouldn't be off buying property in the middle of the ocean for no reason. I wouldn't be off buying property in the middle of the deserts for no reason. Maybe in the middle of the mountains if you're in a wooded area and you're thinking perhaps one of the major resources is going to be wood so that people can buy wood from you and build. But I would take into consideration that it's possible they set up the game so that you have to transport those natural resources as well. And so I would try to buy wooded areas that are accessible, not off in the middle of the mountains. So that's just a little bit of a strategy tip there. And hopefully this answered your question as to how big a tile is and how many of them there are, so that you can try to evaluate how valuable you think they might be in the future. Okay, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.